night. No, I know, but at the same time, you gotta like squash all of their joy. We'll get to that in just a bit. I want to stay really on the Heat because obviously it was a disappointing end for Miami. So much so that Udonis Haslem threw a chair. And Jacoby, I want to ask you, on the scale of don't care and throwing a chair, how disappointed are you in the Heat's performance?
Well, listen, the Heat are not happy. And Udonis Haslem is just working on his coaching career. He's just working on his coaching career. He's not going to be with us in the media. He's going right to be a coach. And I'm saying this, and listen to me. Pat Riley's going to get on the phone this summer, and he's going to call Kawhi Leonard. He's going to call Kawhi Leonard and say, we lost in the first round. You lost in the first round. Kawhi Leonard loves Southern California. He also loves Southern Florida. I think that Kawhi Leonard goes to the Heat this offseason.
Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong, Perk. Go ahead. Go ahead, Perk.
Hold on, Cass. Is Jacoby saying that the Clippers are about to lose this series right now?
Yes.
I mean, and Kawhi, apparently.
Yeah, I'm with Cassidy, though. Look, I'm with Jacoby on this one. If the Clippers do not at least make it to the finals, I strongly believe that Kawhi is gone. And I think that he will go to South Beach, what Jacoby just stated, for the simple fact that people don't know. Jimmy Butler and Kawhi Leonard are really close. They don't talk about it a lot, and they don't announce it. You don't see social media posts and all that stuff of them taking pictures or on the banana boats or whatever the hell you want to call it. But at the end of the day, they are tied together. And I know Kawhi would love to be wiggling his toe in the sand of South Beach.
But he's in LA. Wasn't that the whole reason why he wanted out of San Antonio and why he only spent 1 year after winning a chip with Toronto, is to be in LA? And so is it just too toxic with the Clippers that he wouldn't want to stay with Miami? I mean, with Freudian slip.
Well, Cass, I will say this real quick. As a player, right, your dream is to play in your hometown until you actually get in your hometown. And we don't know how much he's dealing with, right? Sometimes, you love your family members, you love your friends, but you get tired of them at times. So we don't know, right? Like, he probably wanted to go home and see how it felt to play back at the crib. And it might not be what he thought it was going to be. And so at the end of the day, this is why I was thinking he was one why he didn't sign a contract extension when Paul George signed his, because he's reevaluating the situation for us where the Clippers are going to be this postseason.
Well, that'd be an interesting move. Look, just a couple things from Miami. Oladipo's an unrestricted free agent. Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, restricted free agent. And they also have team options for Dragic and Iguodala. Now, looking ahead for the Bucks in the second round, which Jacoby is already calling, it's going to be the Nets, and I think most people are. But the Bucks, they lose Dante DiVincenzo for the season after tearing a ligament in his left knee. In his left ankle in Game 2. Perk, you've been high on the Bucks coming out of the East. Does this injury change your opinion at all?
No, it don't. It don't. And look, he was a valuable piece, but I'm telling you, Giannis has taken his game to another level. So is Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is averaging around 23 points a night in the playoffs and shooting 43% from three. And look, P.J. Tucker, Bobby Portis, they have Covington. They have all these, you know his name, right? They have all these weapons, and they're deep. But most importantly, here's the X factor that don't get enough recognition on how he protects the paint and how he stretches the floor on the offensive end. Is Brook Lopez. He is an underrated shot blocker and an underrated defender, and he also opens up the lane for Giannis with his ability to knock down three-point shots.
Pat Connaughton?
Connaughton. Yeah.
Okay. It's a hard one. It gets in the vowels. The vowels go in the back of your throat. I get it.
Yeah.
What were we going to say, Jacoby?
I will say this is Perk, I love you so much, but you are so wrong on this one because they don't have anyone that can cover James Harden and Kyrie Irving. They don't have anyone that can cover Kevin Durant. You're going to see the Brooklyn Nets come out of this second-round series. I know this. I know that you're going to apologize. You know what? You're going to apologize to me via text in about, 10 days. In about 10 days, you're going to apologize to me via text because there's no chance the Bucks beat the Nets in the second round. There's absolutely none.
Wow.
Jacoby, look, Jacoby, you're right. There will be a text message, but you will be texting me saying, Perk, how do you always know these things? For the simple fact that, did you watch the Milwaukee Bucks and the Nets towards the end of the season? Have you ever saw anybody get into Kyrie Irving like Drew Holiday did? PJ Tucker, right? I'm not saying he's going to stop. I'm not saying he's going to stop Kevin Durant. No one can stop Kevin Durant. But what I'm saying is he makes it tough on Kevin Durant. He leans on him. He's excellent with his hands. He's excellent for his positional defense. And all I'm saying is the team that led the league in scoring this year was the Milwaukee Bucks. They averaged 120. And then you put Giannis in the equation, along with Chris Middleton. And like I'm saying, look, you can even throw the way Jeff Teague's been playing. After watching last night, after watching the Brooklyn Nets play the Boston Celtics last night, James Harden went for 41, Kevin Durant went for 39, and they still lost. They don't have a defensive presence. They don't have a defensive center. Tristan Thompson had 19 points and 13 rebounds last night. Do you know what Giannis is going to do to them in the paint? Do you understand?
I mean, this is why we play the game. Okay, so we will see. The Bucks won't play again until at least next Saturday. Their East semifinal series against, as both of you say, Brooklyn will start on June 5th if the Nets advance in 5 games. Any other scenario, the Bucks will play on June 7th. So, I mentioned Dante DiVincenzo. They'll be without him. You know, he's certainly a nice young piece, but he's definitely not a team-defining star. We have, however, seen a youth takeover so far in these playoffs as we look at some of the stars under 25 that have been shining. And, you got to start with Luka Doncic. He's had 3 huge games for the Mavs, leads the league in scoring in these playoffs at 38 a game. He had 31 in his postseason debut last year. Ja Morant trails only Dame and Luka in overall scoring per game in the playoffs. You got Book, 28 a game in 3 games going up against LeBron, AD, and that Lakers defense. Trae Young has scored or assisted on over half of the Hawks' points in these playoffs. And, of course, Jason Tatum. He dropped 50 last night on the Nets, keeping the Celtics season alive. And look, Perk, last week we asked you who you were most excited to see make their debut in these playoffs. You said Ja and Trae. Neither have disappointed so far, but who has been most impressive to you?
It's been Ja Morant, right? Because of the journey that he had to get to this point. Having to play the last few regular season games. Look, the Memphis Grizzlies have been in the playoffs for a month now. They had to play to get into the play-in tournament. They had to play in the play-in tournament, and now they're playing in the playoffs. And the way he's performed when the lights hit the ice on the biggest stage, going into Golden State, playing and battling out with Steph Curry, going into Utah Game 1, putting on a hell of a performance. Putting on a hell of a performance in Game 2. Well, we all know it's not an easy place to play in, not in Utah. I know one thing, the grindhouse is going to be rocking tonight.
Well, Jacoby, quickly, out of the young stars, who have you liked the most?
It's just Luka. I mean, you cannot put anybody on Luka at all. You put Pat Bev on Luka, he walks him into the basket. You put Morris on Luka, he walks him into the basket. No one can stop this man from scoring the basketball. There is no defense for what he does. 3-pointers, mid-range, layups. He does everything you want. And you can't double him either because he'll read that defense. There is nothing that can stop Luka Doncic. He just needs more help in order for them to be a true championship contender.
He also has to, I think, have a little more composure too. I think he's, Pat Bev is an annoying guy to play against. But he also has to keep a calm head at times as well. I've had a front row seat to Trae Young. It's hard not to be impressed with how he's been showing up for his first playoffs. I actually spoke to him yesterday, and he revealed what's motivating him this postseason.
You told me pregame that you're locked in to disproving the narrative that you guys can't win. What do you think you guys proved in this game tonight?
Just a little bit more. We ain't proved nothing yet. We still haven't won the series. We still got a long ways to go. We got 2 more to win, and we just got to stay locked in, like I said, and finish it off.
Yeah, I mean, he told me that, like, he's heard this narrative, and that's something that's really motivating him, is to make people know that he can be a winner. He fed off the chants at MSG, even called them compliments. Meanwhile, Julius Randle, he also got some chants last night at State Farm Arena. He heard the overrated chants. Jacoby, I know this. I know you're a big time Knicks fan, so open up your bleeding heart. What do you feel about Julius Randle right now?
It is terrifying going against Trae Young. He is so scary. He can score baskets so quickly. In 1 minute, he can score 9 points. It is terrifying rooting against him. However, Julius Randle, we need Julius Randle to be Julius Randle. Like, he was Julius Randle all season long. He's the most improved player. We need him in the playoffs, and he just has not stepped up yet. We need him to do what he did all season long in the playoffs.
I mean, look, Perk, amongst 50 players with 50 or more field goal attempts, Randle's 24% shooting is the worst all time. Tibbs described it to us as that they have 2.5 guys on Julius Randle, and Nate McMillan told me that their game plan is to basically guard him like a guard, make sure that he doesn't get rhythm in his dribble. What are you noticing about why Julius hasn't been himself in this series?
Well, I mean, this is his first time having experienced this type of thing, right? And this is the playoffs where you have to make others beat you. You cannot allow Julius Randle to put up 40, right? We have to remember, in the regular season, Julius Randle put up 2 40-piece wing dinners on the Atlanta Hawks when they played them this year. So you have to make other guys beat you. And this is the difference between him and Trae Young. Trae Young has been seeing these type of defenses all his life. Like, he's seen his defense in college where they were running boxing ones on him. He have seen triple and double teams in the regular season. So it's nothing new to him. This is just a growing and learning experience for Julius Randle this postseason. But look, at the end of the day, if the Knicks lose, they still were a hell of a story, and no one should be talking down on them or discrediting Julius Randle for what he done, even bringing life back to New York City.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of good stories, Derrick Rose has been a great story this season, but he can't do it all. And so the Knicks are really hoping that they get more, not just from Julius, but also RJ Barrett. They just couldn't hit anything last night. So we'll see what happens tomorrow afternoon. Before we move on to John, the Grizzlies, Massachusetts lifted their COVID restrictions today. So the Celtics are expecting a near full capacity crowd at TD Garden tomorrow for Game 4. Perk, you giving them any shot to tie this one up? I know you're not giving them a shot to win it, but you're giving them a shot to tie this one up.
I am. And look, the Celtics are playing with confidence. And to be honest, they actually had a little confidence throughout this series, although in Game 2 they got beat pretty bad. But if we remember, in Game 1, they came out firing. And Jason Tatum did what Jason Tatum needs to do. Not play like he's 6'4", but play like he's 6'9". And he got to the paint. He got to the free throw line. He attacked all night. He was in his bag last night. They tried to put Kyrie Irving on him. He abused him, took him to the paint. Same with Kevin Durant. They tried to put him on him. He was just in his rhythm. Tristan Thompson did his thing. Marcus Smart did his thing. Look, it's going to be rocking in the Garden, okay? It's going to be rocking. I'm telling you this right now. Kyrie looks like he's shook. He don't know what to do. And he think 5,000 fans had him shook last night. Just wait until they have 18,000 in there on Sunday.
I just want more Deuce content So if that means the Celtics have to win and Deuce does another post game, I'm here for it. Another under 25 star, Ben Simmons, he'll be on display tonight as you're watching Hoop Streams presented by Hotels.com. And we're leading you into that Sixers at Wizards game coming up at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app if you log into your cable providers. Now, we'll look ahead at that game in a bit, but let's get you caught up on, what just wrapped up out west, and that's the Nuggets and Blazers. Dame and Portland trying to even the series up, and the Blazers just came out on fire. CJ McCollum finds Norman Powell in the corner for 3, and then fast forward to the fourth quarter, McCollum again to Powell. This game just was out of hand quickly. Powell led the Blazers in scoring with 29 points, 4 from 3. Blazers beat the Nuggets 115-95. Series tied at 2, Game 5 in Denver on Tuesday. Dame finished with just 10 points, 1 of 10 from the floor, and still a blowout for Portland. Jokic team high, 32 in the game, finished with 16 points, minus 32 in the game, rather, 16 points and 1 assist. So Michael Malone not happy in this game, and that Michael just rolls off the tongue. Our friend Doug Kazarian tweeted this out. I'm thoroughly enjoying the playoff development of announcers now petrified to refer to Michael Malone as Mike. I did the world a solid, he says. But I think Michael did himself a solid. He took some heat for correcting me on there. I adore Michael Malone. I'm sorry I didn't know that he preferred Mike. But now the whole world knows that he prefers Michael Malone. I don't like to be called Cassie. So, I'm telling people on Hoop Streams, if you see me in the street, don't call me Cassie, okay? Because then there'll be some problems. I will correct you. So all good. I know you got your big brother protection face on. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, but I just don't get it, right? Majority of the time, look, it's an honor to have the word Michael, period, right? Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. But we all call them Mike. What makes Coach Malone any different? He should.
He said his mama named him Michael. Yeah. So people want to call. He wants people to call him Michael.
I'm saying, when I'm trying to tweet about the Nuggets and put his name in there, he taking up too many characters. It's extra characters. Just let me call you Mike Malone. Come on, Coach. Don't be so sensitive.
I'm a habitual name shortener, so I get it. But Michael, just spoke to the media, and he had some strong words for his players. He called them tentative and soft in the blowout. Ooh. So, Jacoby, what do you think about this performance by Denver today?
There's only going to be a few series that go 7 games, and I think this is one of them. This is an even match series, and they really miss Jamal Murray. As much as I love my guy Facundo Campazzo, I love Campazzo so much, but he can't guard Dame Lillard. He cannot guard Dame Lillard. He's good for a couple highlights a game, but he can't guard Dame Lillard. I think this series, the Knicks series, are both going 7 games, and I don't know who to pick in this one.
Perk.
Well, listen, the Knicks series is not going 7. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you that, Jay, you my brother, but it's going 6. The Hawks will win in 6. But listen, past that, the Blazers really should be winning this series in good fashion. Without Jamal Murray, the Blazers have too much talent. They are deep. Norman Powell, C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, Nurkic, he finally came to play today. And look, Mike Malone was right. I was sitting up there watching the game.
Mike?
He had to sub Mike Porter Jr. out because Norman Powell had him in hell today. He was abusing him to the point where he had to put him on the bench. And I know Jokic is good, and I get that. He probably is going to win MVP. But if you look at the personnel, they're not evenly matched. And I don't think this series is supposed to go 7, although I got Portland winning in 7. But after watching them play, this should be the score every single night for Portland. They should be blowing Denver out of the water without having Jamal Murray. They should.
Well, We'll see. I mean, look, they need more from Michael Porter Jr. Austin Rivers has been a surprise, but he needs to be more consistent for them, and that's to your point that they need Jamal Murray. It's time now for tonight's On the Road, brought to you by Hotels.com. I'm sorry, Perk, we got to pay the bills. We got one of two games still to come on ESPN tonight as we take a look at the Utah Jazz going on the road to Memphis. The Grizzlies did their job and grabbed one game in Salt Lake City. Perk, I'll give you the floor here on this one because I know you love John and the Grizzlies. What are you expecting from them tonight against a somewhat healthy Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It is going to be rocking in that building, in the FedEx building. And I'm telling you this from experience. That fan base is underrated. This young core, this young group is going to feed off of that. Role players do what? They usually play well at home. And right now, the Memphis Grizzlies got confidence against the Utah Jazz. And I know they lost by probably 12 or 13 points. But remember, they cut the lead down to 3 in game 2. They have confidence. And I think that the role players are going to play well. I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to win this game. But before you paid the bills, or we paid the bills, Cass, I had something to say. And I had something to say to my brother, Jacoby. I really feel some type of way right now. Yeah, I really do. Because, look, I've been working at ESPN for about 2.5 years now. And you know the only show that I haven't been on, Cassidy? You know the only show that I haven't got an invite on is Jalen and Jacoby. I'm going to text Jalen later, but I got to tell Jacoby right now. Excuse me, I can't get my word.
Where did that even come from? You just were stewing about that.
Yeah, it's been building up because I watch that show every day, and I'm just like, oh, just waiting on the text. Just waiting on the text. And look, I know
you don't work enough, Perk.
Right?
You're on every show. Huh? You don't work enough. You're on every show.
No. But listen, these are two of my brothers, okay, Cassidy, and I just been waiting on the invite. And look, excuse me if I'm slurring, but I got a wisdom tooth pulled yesterday, so I kind of got to, yeah, but it's all good. But I just, I had to get that off my chest. It's been bothering me for a while.
You're dealing with a lot. Jacoby, you have a quick response before we move on?
Perk, of course you have an open invite to come on Jalen and Jacoby anytime, especially if you think the Bucks are going to beat the Nets in a series. Especially if you think the Bucks are going to beat the Nets in a series.
And Perk, you've been dealing with so much, a wisdom tooth.
Wisdom tooth,
I know. You better
know.
get him on the show because he's a true warrior. To come on, I mean, this man loves to talk basketball. For him to be talking on Hoop Streams here, that's family for life. I appreciate you. As you know, this is the show. This is where you started here at ESPN, Perk. So I appreciate you.
You know what it is.
Exactly. And this show is getting you set for the Sixers and Wizards coming your way at 7 Eastern. Game 3, Sixers lead series 2-0. And look, the 76ers are 37-7 this season with both Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons play. That's including the playoffs. So we'll see what they have in store tonight in the nation's capital.
Joel Embiid, an MVP candidate, must establish it early if you're the Sixers. And yes, Defensive Player of the Year candidate Ben Simmons, versatility point guard.
Almost off the court, and it's Simmons with the slam.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to make winning plays and do what I can to help the team win.
Bad leave on the take. What a finish! Wow. Incredible. Joel Embiid. I don't even know what to comment with that right there. I don't even know what that is.
He's a treasure. I mean, he's something that you don't see a lot in this league.
My mentality this year, just wanting to, destroy everything in my path.
About a minute 30 away from the start of that one on ESPN. Russell Westbrook is a game-time decision after spraining his right ankle in Game 2. Jacoby, what do the Wizards need to do tonight to get a win, especially if they have a hobbled or no Westbrook?
Oh, they're in trouble. The Wizards are in trouble in this series. And I will say this is, I'm tired of the Ben Simmons slander. I am so sick of the Ben Simmons slander. Guess what? He can't shoot jump shots. I understand that. But he said it. You heard his own voice. Winning plays. He makes winning plays. He'll shut down your best defender. Anybody, whether it's a guard or a center or a power forward, he'll shut down the opposing team's best offensive player, and he will end up with 10 assists every single night. I love Ben Simmons' game, and I'm tired of Ben Simmons' slander.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Perk, I just want to make a quick update. We just saw Russell Westbrook out on the floor. The Wizards just announced that he will play tonight in Game 3. Sorry, continue on, Perk.
No, I mean, I get the Brody going out there and fighting, and y'all know how I feel about Russell Westbrook, and I think he did a great job of getting them to the postseason, but they're going to get swept. They just don't have enough. They're going full of brooms. Like, Philly is going to win this game. It's because of the personnel, right? Russell Westbrook just don't have the weapons around him. You have Bradley Beal, I get it, but this Philly team is deep. I mean, really, really deep. They got guys that come in off the bench that brings that defensive tenacity, that defensive energy. And another thing for us with Ben Simmons, right? And I love that Jacoby took up for him. Like I think it was game 1. Like he had 15 rebounds and 15 assists.
15 assists.
Yeah, like get a man his
what do you
flowers.
Want to do?
And it upsets me because you know what? The people, the grown-ups that are the casual fans out there, they're teaching our younger generation the wrong way about basketball. It's other ways to affect the game and be a star in your role than just scoring points, okay?
Preach.
All right, Jacoby, just your thoughts also. I mean, to me, when I watch this Sixers team, I just see a swarming defense. And it's not just Ben Simmons. Matisse Thybulle is becoming a star because of his defense, in my opinion.
Ooh.
I think a lot of people forget there's two sides of the court. There's offense and there's defense. And with Thybulle and Simmons, what they do defensively is like you heard Simmons' voice. He said winning plays. Winning plays aren't always baskets. Sometimes they're stopping your opponent. Sometimes they're getting in the passing lane. Sometimes it's boxing out. Those are winning plays, and that is what Thybulle and Simmons do.
Check out Jalen Jacoby weekdays. Jalen Jacoby and maybe Perk sometime this week.
Perk.
We'll see. Get it percolating.
Hey, shout out to Hotels.com, okay?
That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Hotels.com. You too. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to all that have served our country. Thank you for watching Hoop Streams presented by Hotels.com. We'll leave you with a word from Vince Carter and Hotels.com.
You can't go wrong with Hotels.com, the official travel partner of the NBA.